Hey guys, welcome back to the Global Gaming Podcast, where we have a very special episode today where we will be covering E3 and what we thought of it. Just for the record, we're not going into every little detail about everything and stuff. We're mostly just going to cover what interests us. So without further ado, let's get underway. One thing I wanted to, I guess to start, one thing that sort of bothered me was the Smash Brothers reveal. It was mostly a small thing, but like in a lot of Smash Brothers games, like the Final Smash, at least I think that's what it's called. I could be wrong, so don't crucify me, please. There were some moves that were final moves that were that were almost impossible to
somehow
avoid
sounds
or whatnot.
raunchier. Somehow Final Smash sounds raunchier than it should.
Yeah. Well, Zero Suit
time.
Samus is in it, so why not?
Fair enough, but anyway.
Ugly.
Fair. What I was trying to say is that one thing that always bothered me is what was it? Oh yeah, that like I said in it, it was always hard. Like some of the final smashes, while they're almost impossible to avoid, they were still able to avoid it, and it was like some final smashes will be going into some special cinematic thing, which will make it look like which now makes it look like it's impossible to avoid now. So that's sort of annoying to me. Other than that, the trailer looks fine. Which more games are revealed like that? Or they just say, this is everything you need to know about the game and then some?
Yep. Unlike Death Stranding.
Yes. Which continues to be that.
What is the game even about? Exactly. Besides whales, probably.
I think people know more about the dark side of the FBI than they know about Death Stranding.
I saw one interesting theory that seems to be running around, that the point of Death Stranding is that you're a deliverer or whatnot, and like you deliver packages or other stuff, and the game will be more about the journey in the sense. What?
A courier, okay.
Yeah, like that. At least that's the theory that's going around. Nothing's confirmed or whatnot. I can only go off the word of some people who are like analyzing the trailers frame by frame and whatnot. So just tell me what the game's about already, Kojima.
Yeah. So basically, you're a courier who probably has amnesia, and you're in a foreign place. Gee, I've never heard that plot line before.
Well,
Fallout New Vegas, run off. We're talking about Death Stranding.
Yeah, but the Fallout New Vegas didn't have you strapping weird baby to your body.
Two things and stuff. One funny thing is that I heard one person came up with an interesting theory where one person said they think the game is about a man who ran away from planned pregnancy with the last baby he refused to abort, and now he's being hunted by the souls of the fetuses that he did abort. Is it going to be the most pro-life?
That sounds more like the kind of game that Atlas would make, really.
Sounds like
a game that Markiplier would come across on the internet.
So if that type of game, if that game was, that would sound like the most pro-life, amazing game ever. But seriously, though,
pro-life is the word I would use.
It sounds more like an Atlas game to me.
Not even Atlas.
I know, Atlas has done a weird baby boss before. In one of their games.
Enough.
Catherine, remember?
You're from Persona 4?
But like,
no, it was Catherine.
I just remember.
You never played that game?
I did just realize, speaking of Death Stranding, there has been an official synopsis released for it. And I think it's available on like
Dragon?
There is an official synopsis for it, which I don't have it in front of me, so please forgive me if I messed up a word or two, but apparently the game is, according to the official synopsis, the game is about Sam, who is the main character, and stuff. It was apparently Norman Reedus' character, who is apparently is traveling the world in order. Apparently, there is a phenomenon going on known as the Death Stranding, which apparently is a real thing in that world. And then he has to go across the world in order to reconnect the world and to fix it or something. And that's what it says according to the.
So he's the ethereal cable guy?
Maybe. I'm just reading off the official synopsis.
I've heard worse. I mean, Fallout 3 is all about helping your dad install a water filter.
Well, that's only the second half.
No, that really is the main game.
Well, that's the second half of the game. The first half of the game is asking.
Plot of the game is you and helping your dad install a water filter.
Well, it's not wrong, is it?
Fair enough.
Possibly having some evil computer president, make like
I'm
an SDG virus bullshit or whatever or something.
Alright. Me one.
Wait, you're cutting out there a bit, Papa G.
I'm sorry. I'm just. I'm trying to find the official synopsis just so like I don't entirely. Make sure I'm not fucking anything up. So just give me a second. Yeah. Come on, load internet load. There we go. Sorry, like you can cut this out of the video and stuff. I'm just trying to find the official 100% official synopsis that was released on the website. So here we go. So the official synopsis goes: Sam Bridges must brave a world utterly transformed by the Death Stranding. Carrying the stranded remnants of the future in his hand, Sam embarks on a journey to reunite the shattered world one step at a time. What is the mystery of the Death Stranding? What will Sam discover on the road ahead? A genre-defining gameplay experience holds these answers and more. So
what
that's
has games not been genre-defining?
So that's the official synopsis that was released on the website, on I think the Death Stranding's official website.
He keeps healing himself. I swear to God.
So basically, we know nothing about the game.
Pretty much, yeah. Apparently there's this thing called timefall where the rain ages you or whatnot. So that's something we know.
The
Ages
rain
you?
Ages you?
Yeah, there's this thing apparently discussed. Apparently the rain shown in trailers apparently is rain that causes time to cause it ages whatever it touches.
Bizarre.
Anyway, in other news, what are your thoughts on E3? What interests you guys? Been talking for too long.
Well, there was Remedy making a game.
Yeah.
Yeah, Remedy. I don't know if I can forgive them for Quantum Break. I'm not really sure I'm gonna.
Games that were
I'm just not
interesting
a big fan of Remedy to begin with when I look at how they tell their stories.
Fair enough. He doesn't like games because due to the fact that the narrator beginning his life, I'm about to do this thing and stuff, and like there's going to be tension even though you know I'm alive.
There's fucking healing himself.
Mm-hmm.
This is bullshit. I need better arrows.
Anything else that interested you at E3 for better or worse?
Sorry?
I was asking if there anything that interested you guys at E3 for good or for worse. Like, is there anything that looked like bad at E3 that you're like, I'm going to avoid?
Not really. I mean, if you're asking what I was interested in, I mean, Ghost of Tsushima looks amazing.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. Game.
Sorry, Papa G, you cut out a bit there.
I'm sorry, I didn't say much. I was just saying that like that game does look interesting and whatnot.
Well, I'd be interested in Kingdom Hearts. It now finally has a damn release date.
Yes, and not to rub it in everyone's face, I was totally 100% right. I was 100% right. What did I say in the very first episode of this podcast, guys?
You said, "Hi guys, I'm Papa G. Welcome to this
I didn't
podcast."
I didn't stutter that much.
I can pull up the episode if you want, Papa G.
I'll look it up later. I don't believe you. Either way, point is, in the very first episode, I said that I legitimately, flat out, don't believe Kingdom Hearts 3 will come out in 2018 like they initially promised. And what happened? It is not coming out in 2018.
Wait, when did they promise it? When did they promise it was coming out in 2018?
And in trailer that was released earlier this year. Like the very first time they showed off the Toy Story World, at the very end of the trailer, they said it's coming in 2018. And now, like at the most recent trailer, they're saying, "Psych, it's actually January 29th, 2019."
I don't remember them actually saying it was coming out 2018.
They definitely did. If you want, I can send you the video.
No, that's cool.
Trying to remember, but feels it's. I was a little worried there for a bit. I was worried for a bit that it would end up not coming out. I was worried for a bit that it would come out in 2018, and I would look like a massive idiot. But thankfully, I was proven right. But now I get bragging rights. I was right, and
Papa G gets bragging rights.
I'm objectively, provably the best person ever, and no one can say otherwise.
Wait, you're objectively the best person ever?
Yeah, I can prove it.
But weren't you the one arguing against objectivity?
It was a joke. Don't think too deeply into my joke.
Yeah, but I have to call you out on that, because that's part of the joke.
Fair enough. Trying to think, what else was sort of...
Yeah, I mean, that was one weird podcast to be in, that one.
Yeah. I will... Oh, yeah, I guess, I should say this, though. I didn't watch any of E3's conference, but based on what I've heard, it sounds like it was miserable. I looked up, apparently, for Anthem, they did some sort of weird 3D thing and stuff, and I'm like, yay, I guess. We talked about the game instead, and they did talk about the game, but all they did was talk. They didn't really show anything new.
Well, I guess you can talk about EA they expect to be praised for not putting microtransactions in a game that make the game unbalanced.
Yeah, of course, and of course now, I think that was, I remember seeing someone do I can't remember who did, but I remember someone making a bingo card right before E3 is starting this year, and on that bingo card, one of the things was EA expects praise for doing something that should be an industry standard by now, and I'm like, yeah, that's it. Yeah. Mark that off the bingo card. It's like, it really shouldn't be something we make a big kerfuffle over on, but I guess according to EA,
they should be praised for it. I mean, I believe I said something kind of rude as a simile for it. I think it was the end. I think it was something to the effect of, it's like a 19-year-old kid expecting praise from his dad because he stopped wiping his ass with his bed sheets.
I mean, yeah, sort of.
Wait, who wipes their ass with their bed sheets?
It's a simile. That was the point.
It's a metaphor, more like a metaphor.
Yeah, I wasn't actually being serious.
Young age, who would do that?
Yeah, exactly.
I
mean, that's what it feels like to have EA expect to be praised for,
it's like, for me, it's sort of... For me, it's like, yeah, I appreciate it, but it's like, not getting really any praise for that. It's something you're expected to do. It's like asking It's like asking for a pizza man to have praise for doing their job adequately. It's like, I'm paying you to do that, dude. That is the thing. Other than that, apparently they bought another studio, the same studio that made A Way Out. Haven't played the game, so I don't know if it's good or not. But hopefully they don't end up like the other studios that have been swallowed by EA.
Well, I would hope not.
Speaking of acquiring studios, Microsoft has apparently acquired a few studios. So that's something that's pretty interesting.
And
do you guys
apparently they're going to give these studios creative freedom.
They're like, we're going to give them the ultimate creative freedom and whatnot. Say that. Whenever a big studio generally says that, I'm always skeptical. it's possible they could be giving them really great creative freedom, but it's like I'm always like I have my doubts, but we'll have to wait and see, I guess.
Whenever I hear Microsoft or EA say that they're gonna shape up, I feel like that mother who has to say, "Okay, show me your work."
Yeah.
It's like after the last time you said you were gonna do that.
So though it is interesting the studios they acquired. That studio. See, I found funny. I realized when I was hanging out the other day was, that game We Happy Few. It started out as an indie game, was then bought out by not bought out, was then taken over by publisher Gearbox, which then in turn was then taken over by Microsoft. So we have a case of being doubly taken over here.
Yeah.
Kind of funny when you think about it.
Like passed along like a used whore.
Like a used whore? Yeah,
this game, like, it can't be. What happened the last time multiple studios worked on a game? Aliens, Colonial Marines.
Let's not be reminded of that one.
Well, what happened was, to be fair, well, like, as far as I know, Gearbox is still publishing it. It's just Microsoft now owns the company now. Like, from what I understand how it's going. But, like, still, though, with Colonial Marines, that was their idea. With Colonial Marines, it was just handed to studio from studio. Like, it was just, for some reason, no one wanted to work on it. They're just like, hey, studio, you do this. And they're like, no, we want to do this. Here, you do this, studio. Apparently, just, like, handed to multiple studios. And apparently, no one wanted to work on it for some reason. Why no one would want to work on such a big IP such as Aliens, I don't know.
Because it wasn't Alien Isolation.
Fair enough. Either that happened, or I think your box just outsourced it to multiple people, so that might have happened. One or the other happened. I'm not sure which one happened.
Whatever it was, it wasn't good.
Exactly. Speaking of which, so another thing was I'm interested to see what they'll make with Ninja Theory, because as far as I can tell, Ninja Theory seems to be a bit of a mixed bag.
As far as I'm concerned, they can have Ninja Theory after what they did to the Devil May Cry.
Yeah, that one.
I was actually about to bring
not
that
in a million years is what I would say to that. And those who understand the game will probably understand that joke. Not in a million.
Have you played Devil May Cry?
Yes.
It's not the.
I haven't played it, but I've seen some cutscenes, and all I could think while I was watching it is like, oh no, how is it like? It's funny, like the original Devil May Cry games were never like the most well-written masterpieces ever, but they're at least like charming to watch. But it's like,
compared to the new game, they were written masterpieces.
Yeah, but the thing is, the Ninja Theory was apparently selected due to their skilled writers, and I believe they have skilled writers because I've heard what's it called?
Hellblade.
Hellblade was really well written. I heard other games they did was really well written, but whatever good writers they had clearly were not on their A game, because looking at some of the cutscenes,
Hellblade was a new IP though. That was their own creation.
I know, but like you can take on other. I've seen other studios take on like old IPs and still have good writing, like new Tomb Raider games. But like the writing in the new DMC game, at least from what I've seen, is really, really bad. Or saying it's really, really bad is like, I think kind of putting it mildly. What about you? What do you guys think?
Yeah, that was putting it mildly. It was massively disrespectful to the.
I'm sorry, but when you're unveiling the game and your star attraction is a giant monster with a vagina on its forehead, I'm not impressed.
Well, it depends on the game, yeah. But my favorite, the line that annoyed me the most, I'm trying to think, the line that convinced me that this is a bad game, or at least it's a poorly written game, was the cutscene where the new Dante goes, "Fuck you," and the mom goes, "Fuck you," and I was like, wow, that was the most cringy thing I've seen all week. I don't know why, but I was so annoyed when by that scene.
Mm-hmm.
Compare that to Devil May Cry. Compare that to Devil May Cry 3, where most of the humor involved Dante just playing around with his enemies.
Yeah, and here you have the super a serious story about like how Fox News and the government shouldn't be trusted and whatnot.
Dude, we really need an entire Devil May Cry game dedicated to that?
I wouldn't think so.
Well, I have to ask.
I mean, we already have Steins Gate to do that.
I do have to ask you guys, like, since you guys played it, I haven't played it, but like, how is it as a video game? Like, in terms of like action, like, is it any good or is it as bad as the writing?
On DMC?
I've heard that
the combat was a little too forgiving. Yeah. Like, it was so easy to get S ranked. It was so easy to get S rank combos that all the challenge from the previous game seemed to be good.
Yeah, and the old games are massively challenging.
One funny thing, I need to say something funny. There's an old article that sadly isn't available anymore. I think they deleted it. But it was called DMC Devil May Cry is going to be playing at 30 FPS. To some people, this is a problem. And in two brackets, they put losers. And I find that funny because for the definitive edition of DMC, it's like plastered on the box, 60 FPS, 1080p. So it's like beforehand, you lost 60 FPS, you're a loser. But now it's like it's a big selling point that's on the bloody box and stuff. Like, hey guys, we got 60 FPS. So I just find that funny.
That's like saying, yay, our game functions.
Yeah. And I think that's just the ultimate irony. Like, I know, to be fair, Ninja Theory didn't write that article or anything, but I find it funny how, like, things change over time. How, like, at first it was like, 30 FPS, if you complain about 30 FPS, you're a loser. But now it's like, hey guys, box art. It's on the box art. See, we have 60 FPS. I actually heard one interesting thing about the definitive edition. I actually heard that there was actually a bunch of changes made to the definitive edition. Like, apparently there was like a lock-on mechanic, and apparently they got rid of some annoying bullshit or whatnot. So, and kudos for them doing what most remasters don't, and actually make changes. But I highly doubt it fixed the writing. I highly doubt. But as far as I've heard, it hasn't. But that is But anyway, what was my ultimate point? Oh yeah, Anyway, oh yeah, and another funny thing was it's kind of funny how weird to me how like the older Devil May Cry games are able to perfectly get 60 and whatnot, but like their game apparently needed like a whole another console generation in order to just barely get to 60. So that's weird.
It's shoddy workmanship.
But they do have so some of their sins are forgiving. In all honesty, I'm sure Ninja Theory is a very talented studio and whatnot. I'm sure they're like a lot of good people there. I'm sure they're really talented.
I wonder what happens if I touch this grave Lord servant sign.
In all seriousness, I'm sure the people in Ninja Theory are great people who are really talented and skilled at their jobs and stuff. They just obviously didn't do a good job for DMC, right? Probably being too nice, aren't I?
Well, Ninja Theory can be a mixed bag depending on what game they make.
Yeah.
I mean, when they work on something that's theirs, they can make some incredible things. I mean, Heavenly Sword, I still like that game. I think that was still pretty good.
Oh yeah, one thing this was another big deal. One other thing that bothered me from the cutscenes I saw from DMC, I always saw like a handful of cutscenes, but in the few cutscenes I saw from DMC, one thing that really annoyed me about the new Dante was how he always like said everything like a weird slur or something. You know what I'm talking about?
I just hated the fact that he looked like some kind of, some kind of emo punk.
Well, either way, today DMC is dead, and Devil May Cry 5 has been announced, so all is right with the world. Right?
Unfortunately, DMC is not dead. You look at the character designs that they have for the protagonist in Devil May Cry 5, tell me that looks different from DMC, honestly.
Okay, yeah, there are some similarities from DMC, but it's like there's still the original Dante. There's still like Virgil, and like there's still those other stuff. And looking, you don't have faith in Devil May Cry 5? Just because, like, to be fair, just because they have similar designs doesn't mean like they're the same game or anything.
Boy.
Does it? Like, so there's a guy that has, if anything, that guy from the trailer, the young guy from the trailer, looks like the guy from Scalebound, but with gray hair. And no one was complaining about that guy.
Man had gray hair.
Well, he didn't have gray hair. Like, what I'm trying to say is I think he was Nero, but the younger looking guy, the only thing that looked like DMC was the younger guy and stuff, who I think is Nero. But even then, he looks like the guy from, even then, he mostly looks like the guy from Scalebound. And no one was complaining about that guy, no one was screaming DMC and whatnot, but suddenly it's a Devil May Cry game and everyone's crying. I don't get it.
You don't get it?
I'm saying is I'm saying is I definitely see a bit of DMC in the new Devil May Cry game, but I don't see massive amounts. And like the very brief gameplay that was shown, it seems fast paced, it seems fun, and it mostly seems like it has the same old character from the other games.
It seems that way?
Well, yeah, I can't say I know it's that way unless I'm playing the game with my own two hands.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, DolphinVi? Do you have any hope for Devil May Cry 5?
If they return to the old formula, I do have hope for it.
Yeah. But you don't think that's going to happen, right?
Well, I'm not sure yet.
I'm asking Inquisitor.
Alright.
You don't think that's going to... You don't think they're going to return to the old formula?
On the PS2?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I highly doubt it.
Okay. Anyway, let me think. But yeah, Cyberpunk 2077, the game that CD Projekt Witcher fans have not shut up about for years, finally got another trailer. And I did like the trailer. I like how they set up the world, and it certainly caught my interest. But I'm a little disappointed they didn't show like any other gameplay for it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I heard apparently some behind, like some media outlets got some behind the scenes look at some gameplay. So I wish they also showed it to the public, but maybe it's still in rough stages. Either way, definitely has my attention. What about you guys? What do you think about Cyberpunk 2077?
That one's going to be a
CD Projekt
person shooter game, and it's going to have diverse romance, whatever that means. I'm not sure.
Yeah. I mean, like, I'm interested in it, but other than that, I don't know what it's about.
Cyberpunk's going to be a first-person game?
Supposedly.
Oh, come on.
Well, to be
What's wrong
fair,
with
we
you,
don't
CD
know.
Projekt Red?
We don't know we don't know anything yet for certain.
V seemed pretty convinced it was going to be.
That's what I've read. And it's going to have diverse romance options, whatever the hell that means.
Apparently, you'll be able to.
It's okay to be gay. Let's.
Okay.
Fair enough.
What could diverse mean?
Maybe it means just like you'll get.
Classically, man and woman, getting together.
Maybe we'll be able to.
Diverse would be when you could have other.
Maybe you'll be able to fuck a robot. That'd be pretty diverse.
So you'll be like Lando Calrissian then, Papa G. You fuck a robot, why not?
Did Lando fuck a robot?
I can't believe Disney did that to him.
To my knowledge, no robots were fucked in any way in that movie.
In that movie, Cecil ended up.
The fact that they made Lando the kind of guy that would is just deplorable.
Mm-hmm.
Like, did they actually mention if he was like pansexual in this movie Dolphin? I ended up not being seeing Solo, so my family wasn't interested after all. So like, did they mention he was pansexual in the film, or did they just like only imply it?
There was some brief implication in one scene, and that was it. I'm not entirely sure why they put it in there.
Because SJWs wanted their hour.
We want to prove that we have every single color of the rainbow.
Not the worst thing. Like, I'm not, just because it's like not the character. Star Wars. I mean, at least they make Luke's. At least they didn't.
Franchise.
At least they didn't make him a coward or whatnot, like they did with Luke Skywalker.
I would rather see a cowardly. I would rather see a cowardly Lando. Gay Lando.
Why is that? Well, they'd rather see Lando
because at least it would say that, you know, from the time we see him in the Solo movie, that he grew some balls later on in the later films.
Fair enough. I'm just sort of like I don't really care what you want to. I don't care whether you're into dicks, vaginas, butts, robots, or furries or animals. I don't care what you're into, as long as you're a good person and you're not hurting people. I'm A-okay.
Yep, Papa G's okay with everything.
Yeah. Hashtag there's. No, that would be too dark. Okay, I almost said something really dark, so. But I realized how dark that would be. Oh yeah, I just remembered one other thing that's been in the news recently that's actually sort of interesting. Have you guys heard of the Friday the 13th game?
Friday the 13th?
They're actually making another one?
The Friday the 13th game, that's the multiplayer game. Where you play as, where you can...
Oh, yeah. That's been out for a while.
Yeah. Well, like, I hope I have some bad news for fans of that game. And that is, apparently, like, the development team was really looking forward to rolling out, like, they're still rolling out updates and bug fixes. So they were really looking forward to rolling out new things, like new emotes, new versions of Jason or whatnot in the near future. But due to some court case that revolves the series overall, Friday the 13th, I'm not sure on the details, but there's some court case going on that's been going on for a while now with Friday the 13th with one of the writers and whatnot of the series. And for a while, it wasn't affecting the game, but due to some recent things that have come up, like it's now caused the developers to not be allowed to add new stuff to the game involving emotes and whatnot, and like other things that they've been working on. They're still able to work on bug fixes and whatnot, but like other than that, they're not allowed to add anything else to the game for some legal reason. So that's kind of sad too. Apparently, according to the developers, they were really excited though. Like they were working on a lot of things and stuff that we haven't seen yet and whatnot. But due to this stupid court case that they had next to nothing to do with except for the IP, they are not allowed to make things that make the game better except for bug fixes and whatnot. So that kind of sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully this court case will be resolved soon so they can do stuff or they're able to find a loophole. But other than that, things are looking pretty grim for them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't play the game personally myself, but I'm hopeful. Hopefully, for those who do play the games, will get fixed soon.
We can only hope.
Yep.
It's lawyers for you, though. Always reading everything.
Exactly.
My client does not believe he's received proper compensation for his, what was it, intellectual property?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or we believe the intellectual property should be changed, so that's somehow less offensive. Which could bring us to, I guess, Dead or Alive 6. And the fact that Koei Tecmo wants to commit suicide, I guess.
Apparently, they said that they will
castration of the Dead or Alive fan base.
They said, according to the company, there will still be boob jiggles. Apparently, that's not going to be too censored. There'll still be it'll still be sexual apparently.
Not just the jigglies that people are worried about. It's the fact they're making them wear like these outfits that just don't look. They don't fit Dead or Alive.
Fair enough.
They just don't.
Fair enough.
I mean, why do you think people play Dead or Alive?
They play it obviously for the deep mechanics.
Definitely.
They obviously played for the deep mechanics and lore and story and deep characters.
I'm sure they do. Papa G, head pat. Put your little paper hat back on.
The characters
Obviously,
are
they do.
very deep. I'm sure the characters are very.
Oh, the characters are deep, all right. They're deeper than you give them credit for.
Yeah, she's
Wink,
deep,
wink,
all
nudge,
right.
nudge.
She's balls deep.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to apply. That's why I said wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Get it?
I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that part.
No, no, I was saying like they're deeper than you guys give her credit for. Wink, nudge, nudge. What was I gonna say? I'm sure they're not going to be they're not going to go too far in the censorship area. I'm sure they know their fan base, or at least they better. I mean, I can't see them.
I'm more worried about Battlefield 5 in that regard.
Oh yeah, Battlefield Vagina, as you've called it.
It was weird. I was willing dice the benefit of the doubt at first and say, oh, they're just trying to have fun and they don't really care about historical accuracy. But now, apparently, according to EA, they recently said for the cosmetics in the game, they want to make sure it's accurate to World War II era. So I'm like, what do you want to do? Do you want to be
accurate or not?
Yeah, do you want to be accurate or do you want to go balls to the wall? Because I can go balls to the wall. I can also go accurate, but you can only choose one or the other. You can't just do this weird mesh of both. Or maybe you can. I don't know. Maybe being closed-minded.
Yeah, as I was saying,
Here's the
like
thing.
a former podcast.
Battlefield,
Yeah.
all these war shooters. I'm not even gonna give them the World War shooters. One. What did they do? They filled it to the brim with automatic weapons. Distinct lack of in World War One.
Yeah, they definitely. I'm pretty certain they were made until a while after World War One happened. Or I'm pretty certain they're definitely not readily.
I'm so sorry. I was going to say I'm surprised they didn't put RPGs inside the game.
Yeah. I am curious though, like, why is it okay? Why do you guys think it's okay for them to be loose and historically inaccurate when it comes to weapons, but not when it comes to who does and doesn't serve? I guess because like those aren't as noticeable, or those are more. It's for the sake of fun. When it comes to who's serving, I guess it's more of.
The thing is, when you say World War II, the fact is there's a lot of men who died fighting in World War II. And when you have these feminist fucks who want to try and have their way with the industry.
Which is what this was, Papa G, let's be honest.
Yeah, but like, here's the thing, what's the difference between that?
A lot of guys that play World War II games, they see it as an homage to to our fallen.
And not necessarily as a perfect historical representation.
What I'm trying to say is that to them, this is the closest they get to actually pay their respects to their fallen soldiers.
Still though, like, why do they have automatic weapons? Like, that's not right for the time, right?
Because that's less noticeable and it tends to be gameplay mechanics, not characters, okay. Papa G. I mean, if you had realistic World War II gameplay mechanics, the game would just not be playable.
Yeah.
Hey, have this parachute that almost doesn't always open. I was like, okay, have this gun that jams whenever the hell we feel like it, or just randomly. I mean, that's why Far Cry 2 was crap. It was too realistic.
Far Cry 2 I kind of liked Far Cry 2 for its mechanics. I like the fact that weapons could actually get destroyed if they were abused.
Yeah. I think mainly for me it's the malaria mechanic that just really pissed me off.
Terrible. Yeah. The malaria mechanic could go suck a dick. Let's be honest.
Yeah, there's a reason the difficulty level in Far Cry 3 is called Worse Than Malaria.
I have played Far Cry 2, but even I can appreciate how funny that is. I'm trying to think. Is there anything else I could say about E3? Oh yeah, one thing I was surprised about is that apparently for this Starlink, I think it's called, game that Ubisoft has mentioned, apparently Fox the Cloud is in it, so that's surprising and kind of cool. Wasn't expecting that. Trying to think what else I could say at the moment. I'm having trouble thinking of other topics to talk about.
Well, Just Cause 4 is coming out. That'd be nice.
Just Cause 4 is kind of like what Grand Theft Auto should be.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
Dude, you can fly around them. You can cause chaos and blow up buildings. You can't do that in Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, you can basically be a terrorist. That's what you should be doing.
Well, technically, you are a terrorist in Grand Theft Auto. You're just more of a domestic terrorist.
Fair enough. That is true. Trying to think though. What else could I? You can also, yeah, that does sound pretty cool to be fair.
Well, okay, Atari is still going strong somehow.
The division has been announced. Does anyone care? Didn't think so. Didn't think anyone cared. Neither do I.
Yeah, Ubisoft. What the? Ubisoft needs to give their MMO shooters a break.
Yeah. Just make a good Far Cry game.
Oh, the future of gaming is services.
You know, it's kind of sad because on paper, I think like games like Destiny and whatnot, and like Anthem sound like the most coolest games ever, like multiplayer and story mixed in one. But in execution, I can't say for Anthem because it's not out yet. But in like execution for at least for Destiny, it's like not very good, you know.
Don't think I can. Why can't Ubisoft just make another good Far Cry game, for crying out loud? I mean, Far Cry 3, that was a good one.
I mean,
Far Cry 5 was a big disappointment for me.
I mean, hell, even Far Cry 4, I mean, it kind of pooed itself in the story department, but it was a fun game action-wise.
Well, have you played Far Cry 5, DolphinVi? How do you know?
Well, no, I played Far Cry 4. That's what I said.
Oh.
In the story department, it pooed itself, but in action, it was actually pretty good.
Yeah. I thought you said Far Cry. Oh, okay. I definitely, despite what Inquisitor said, I definitely still want to give Far Cry 5 a shot, just to see what it's like. What about you, Dolphin? Do you have any interest in Far Cry 5, or you don't care?
Yeah, not really. I mean, a game that has the kind of story of Far Cry 3 and the action of Far Cry 4, that's what I would like from Ubisoft. That would be a good Far Cry game.
Okay.
And no malaria! I'm hoping they got that one.
Oh yeah, but I might as well say this at this point. I'm gonna ask, who do you guys think like quote unquote won E3 this year? Personally, I think the term won E3 is kind of stupid because at the end of the day, all that really matters is how good these games are. Given the fact that like at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how these games are presented, it matters how they play. I think who won E3 is kind of a pointless title, but to give Crap Gamer something to jerk off about. I guess if I had to choose one, I'd say Microsoft won E3 for all whatever value that may have. What do you guys think? If you had to choose a winner, who do you choose?
Well, I'm not entirely sure there is a winner. I mean, in certain ways, everyone performed really well.
Yeah. Maybe there is no. I don't know about you guys. I always thought it was a stupid. Like, I always found the idea of saying, "Oh, this company won E3" or "that company won E3" always to be pointless and stupid, because what does it matter if they had a good showcase if all the games they showcased were bad? You know.
I mean, in showing off first-party games, Sony won hands down. I have to say that.
Yes. In terms of games conference, it just like show us games or just show us games. In terms of the idea of just show us games, I think Microsoft did the best and stuff. It is more value, which in the grand scheme of things is probably more valuable because at least you get the games. But I can see why, but in terms of first party stuff, yes, Sony won. And to someone who maybe is interested in those sort of things and stuff, it would definitely be more valuable.
Yeah.
What do you think, Inquisitor?
Did he cut out?
Let me see.
Sorry, guys. I muted my mic because my sister walked into the room.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's okay. So what do you think? Did you hear what I said?
And I was saying like what I said without thinking was I wish this fucking dragon would stop healing himself while I'm trying to kill him.
I was just saying. I don't know. I was just saying. I think it's fit in general to decide on who did and didn't win E3 because, like, who cares how good a game showcase are if, like, the games aren't good? You know what I mean?
Well, I was saying that I think Sony won when it came to showing off first-party games, but I'm not sure who won with anything else.
Yes, in terms, I said games like Microsoft, I think won. Because all they did was just show game after game after game, and that's what kind of won at the end of the day. I don't know. What are you thinking? What do you think, Inquisitor?
I'm wasting time here with this thing. Sorry?
Do you think anyone won E3, or like is it, or we always like we always are?
I saw a lot of games that I'm going to buy on my PlayStation, and I was happy with what I saw.
So
E3, I don't think anyone won through E3.
No one wins E3 at the end. Losers. At least that's the. I like to. At least that's what the pessimist in me says.
I think Papa G would be such a pessimist.
I'm actually not. I'm normally an optimist. Just like with some things, I'm just very negative towards. So anyway, let me think. Try to remember, is there anything else in E3 that I really wanted to talk about? No, not really. So,
Okay, or something else non-E3 related you could try to tell us about.
But, okay.
Your experience playing Beyond Two Souls.
Oh, my experience playing Beyond Two Souls.
Yes, tell us about your...
Not particularly painful, but it's pretty boring. Most of it is kind of boring. There's a few moments that are kind of interesting. Like some parts that are kind of interesting, but for the most part, like it's kind of boring and are kind of stupid. Like what was really stupid? Like I'm trying to think. What was one moment that was really stupid? Oh yeah, this one's stupid. But I kind of find it funny how like you literally just like no, that's not it. I think it's something else. Oh yeah, near the end of the game, like I haven't got up to this part in the game yet, but I know this from watching videos on YouTube. It's kind of funny how they sort of. No, that's not it either. Trying to think of something funny and witty to say. I got it. Oh yeah. One thing I do find funny about playing David Cage games is that how many come across so many similar elements in them when you compare them to his other games. Like for example, there's almost always like some noble homeless people, or there's almost always a shower scene, or there's almost always a woman that's almost raped by someone but just barely escapes. Really, like, it's funny. Like David Cage likes to pride himself on making not the same game over and over again, which he doesn't do, but he certainly makes games that have a lot of similar elements. But overall, I'm not really been loving Beyond Two Souls. It's been pretty boring. What about you guys? Do you guys love Beyond Two Souls?
It's fun to watch. Fun to play.
I'm not
sure the difference.
I like games that. I like games that are kind of like point and click adventures, but.
And like that, I do know like that likes this game. Like that's perfectly fine with me. I just find it mostly pretty boring and stuff. And parts that aren't boring, I just find kind of stupid and kind of laughable. Like I found like the whole military mission like really funny for some reason. I don't know why I found it funny. Like I really need to think about that. I find weird things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I've obviously ran out of things to talk about, so I'm now just saying stuff for filler.
Well, we need you to say stuff at random. That's what makes you the good guy in the podcast.
Huh?
I find funny is the main character Jody. He makes certain decisions. At one point, she'll just be a goth, like an edgy goth or whatnot. So I find that kind of funny.
Oh shit! I forgot all about that one mechanic.
Okay. Also, the teenage dialogue is actually at one point some teenagers talk to each other, and while it's not really good, it's better than like games like Life is Strange do it.
Are you serial?
Go fuck your selfie.
Mm-hmm.
Sad face. Oh my god. People don't talk like that. Like, I really have to ask. Do like people?
It sounded like a Marvel comic, didn't it?
I'm really honest. Like, was the game mistranslated, or like I know it started out as a French game, so like, was the game like was the game dubbed by people who were taking liberties with the script and stuff, and was the game not originally that bad, or was the writer really that out of touch with reality? I don't know which one's worse.
Any way to tell?
Done by adults who don't know how teens talk, apparently.
I think that's the most frustrating thing for me is when like people are writing kids, but clearly it's not clearly the person it's not like that's one thing that breaks the immersion for me the most when it's like this is not a kid or this is not a teenager. This is some 40 or 50-year-old's interpretation of what kids are.
Or it sounds like someone got all their information from reading current-day Marvel comics. Cringe, in other words.
Whereas, for all the good they are.
So, like, speaking of which, apparently there's another Life is Strange related thing coming out called Captain Spirits. So that's a thing. Since I'll probably play it since it's free. I probably wouldn't have done it if it wasn't free.
Good, you're being honest about it.
I'm being completely honest with stuff. I mean, kidding me? I'm a miser. I like saving money. A minute. I got a message from Gamer Z. Minute. Oh
I
shit!
didn't think he was coming.
Oh, in offline mode. Yes, thank you.
What's up?
I'm just sending a message. Sorry. Trying to think. Oh yeah. That's the I can overall I understand why people like Life is Strange to some degree, but like I just like to anyone who likes the Life is Strange, like you admitted DolphinVi, so I'm not asking you, but to like anyone who likes Life is Strange other than DolphinVi, how are you able to get past the bad dialogue? Because for me, that was the thing that killed it for me. Like any scene that I might have taken serious absolutely died the moment like characters started saying things like sad face or are you cereal or
I just found it more funny than anything else.
I mean, you find it funny because of like what they were saying or because like that was the writer's interpretation?
No, I just tried to find more humor in it than anything else.
Fair enough.
Hello.
Oh, hey, gamers.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. To those at home, we here is Gamers E Gaming. He's a little late, but like better to be late than never. I'm joking around. So that was rude. I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's alright. I get pretty busy and lose track of time.
No, it's fine. I'm glad
Happens
to hear
to
it
all
all.
of us.
Yay.
Speaking of which, I'm Papa G. It's nice to meet you.
Yep, nice to meet
Officially.
you too.
I think you came along because we're starting to run out of topics. So like, I'm curious. I am curious. Like, what at E3 interested you and stuff, or like wasn't painful or cringy to you?
You know, I was surprisingly not moved or really impressed by anything at E3 this year. Maybe the announcement of Elder Scrolls 6, but that's not coming out this year, so I wouldn't really count that.
I was sort of interested by Dying, given the fact that.
Am I the only one who thought that the Elder Scrolls cell phone game was kind of cool?
You know, I think that's pretty cool too. I probably not going to play it though. I'm probably one of the only gamers that might say that I'm not too into Skyrim or too into Elder Scrolls in general. Even though I did enjoy playing Skyrim modded. But I mean, that's just my take. And I'm really glad to see ES6 come out because I'm starting to consider playing Oblivion, Morrowind, you know, the older Elder Scrolls games.
Well, I mean, all we got was a trailer and a logo.
Yeah, I know, but like, you know.
It's better to have that than nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am curious though. Do you know what Chris Avallone has worked on Gamers E Gaming?
Have I what now?
Have you heard of a guy called Chris Avallone?
Chris Avallone, I think so.
He
Isn't
worked
that
on
the
games-
guy in Obsidian who's like one of the main developers or main designers rather?
He was, but he left Obsidian like a year or two ago, I think, due to like personal disagreements. Like apparently he's worked on games like Divinity: Original Sin 2, Fallout 2, KOTOR 2.
Oh, okay.
What else? KOTOR 2. What else? He worked on the recent reboot of Prey, Neverwinter Nights 2. A lot of good shit. And like
Nice.
And because of that, I was actually somewhat interested in Dying Light 2. Like, I probably wouldn't be interested in Dying Light 2 at all if Chris Avallone wasn't involved. But since he's involved, I was like, oh, I'm sort of interested now. Since like now he's a writer whose work I've enjoyed in the past. So hopefully this one is also good. Overall, for me personally, I don't know about you, but I pretty much like just skimmed through most of the conferences and just stopped if something vaguely interesting happened, like I do every year.
You know, that's me with E3 as well, which is probably one of the reasons why I didn't catch too many things that really impressed me, because I usually only like to watch highlights and things, like kind of search and cherry pick whatever. I am not one of those people that will sit down for hours and hours and hours on end and watch, because I've got other shit to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, me too. Like I'm not sitting down for the companies say we care about you, we love you guys, and really in the head they're thinking these guys are a bunch of fucking idiots. I hope they spend more money on our shit. That's what E3 is in a concentrated nutshell. Is that we love you guys, we care about you, you're all great. In their heads, these guys are all fucking cocks. Yeah. I hate them, but they're all shitheads. I hope they spend more money on our microtransactions and DLC and whatnot.
Yeah, that's my general view of E3 as well. It's a huge AAA marketing. Well, it's basically PR. It's literally someone gets up into the stage and starts talking to their fan base. And it's
here's one way to look at it. When Microsoft was doing their conference, when everyone was cheering, all Phil Spencer was hearing was "bah."
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. I found that pretty funny.
Yeah.
I found it funny EA is expecting to be praised for not using microtransactions now.
Yeah.
Why would they be praised for that, though? Shouldn't be the standard?
I was saying that's the thing. You know what's funny? I can't remember who put this out. I think it was a YouTuber Gaming Brit Show, but I found, while I was scrolling through Twitter, I found this thing called E3 Bingo, and on one of those, like where like there's a bunch of things that they predict would happen, and one of the things they predicted was EA will roll out something they're doing that should be an interesting standard that they expect praise for. That's it, and whoever predicted that nailed it right in the head. Because like they're like, hey guys, love us now. We're not doing microtransactions.
I wonder how society would react if a pedophile who was in jail for 50 years for assault, constantly like back-to-back assaulting kids. I wonder how society would react if that pedophile came out and said, you know what, I've been clean and sober from kids for 3 months. I expect praise.
Yeah.
Like, nobody's gonna fucking give you praise because the standard, the expected outcome of being a human being is not to assault kids, period.
I wonder what's the next selling point for EA. We have content in the video game, or the DLCs are actually good, or it isn't a shitty game, or like I'm looking forward to what the future of EA brings us, and like what else will be their taglines.
You know, I'm not though. Like, I'm kind of not happy with EA. Period. I'm not interested in.
I don't like EA either. Like, here's
Uh-huh.
the thing: ever since Mass Effect died and BioWare went to shit, I have literally no reason to care about anything EA does. Like none of the, pretty much, like unless I'm forgetting something, pretty much none of their IPs, at least ones that they're currently working on, really interest me at all.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, A Way Out is sort of interesting, but I've heard very mixed things on that. So this overall is just like the only good thing about BioWare going to shit is literally now I have no reason to support EA anymore.
Yeah.
So
There is that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Always find the positive from the negative, Papa G. That's good for you.
yeah. So it's like, but the funny thing is, yeah, even when I was a fan of BioWare, I was always like, EA disgusts me. I can't believe I'm doing this, but it's like, it's BioWare. But now it's like, well, BioWare went to shit, so now I have no reason to support EA anymore.
Yeah, it's just in general, AAA companies kind of lost their wow on me. I've
They never
found
really
myself going into more and more indie, even though, like, you know, it's still pretty good. What else? I have a few other games that I play constantly that are AAA games. I can't remember off the top of my head which should say something.
There's one game I can recommend.
What's up?
You're
one
cutting
game,
out a bit, Papa G. Say it again.
there's one game coming out that I could recommend. That's coming out relatively soon. I sort of shielded for it earlier in the podcast, but okay, I'll just do it one more time. Pretty much so. There's this game called Yakuza 0, which is probably one of the greatest games ever. And it's been exclusive on PlayStation 4 for a while now. And at the PC Gamer Show, it was announced that it's coming to PC, available at uncapped frame rates in 4K. And I have to say, like, that, I think, like, it's a really great video game. It's like, if you're feeling disenfranchised with the game industry, I cannot recommend that game enough. It is, like, just amazing. It's like, the game is like a very small open world, or like an open district kind of game, where it's like there's this one district, but there's like so much in there, and like there's so many little things, and like the story, like the game is both hilarious and emotional. It's like, I'm not going to describe it. Look into it. It's a great game. Can't recommend it enough.
Yeah, I keep wanting to say that it's kind of like a mini Sleeping Dogs, but that is like, because Sleeping Dogs was a decent game at best. I can't even compare it to that because that's so limiting that it's totally disingenuous.
Oh, you know about Yakuza?
Yeah, I've been looking up on it for quite some time now. I showed a few friends of mine at school, and they thought I was lying when I told them that, you know, I'm expecting to play it because it doesn't come out the 1st of August or something, like 7 weeks, 6 weeks. I think it's 6 weeks now.
Yeah.
Something like that.
As long as the PC port is good, then I would 100% endorse people buying it. Like, the only reason I'm saying, like, not to pre-order it or anything is because you never know, the PC port might be iffy. But like, I'm really like, I'm not JTech TV at all, and stuff. Like, I hate bringing up TV, but like, I love rubbing it in the face. So like, I'll say this: I am so happy that the game's coming to PC. Like, not only do more people like you get to experience it, but also like this will mean like the game, like in a way, will kind of live on forever in a way, because like one day PlayStation 4s won't be, or 3s won't be that common anymore, so people will be able to more easily access it and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I can only imagine mods that will occur because of it becoming on PC. Like that's
Final Fantasy 15's already got mods, so I can bet that Yakuza 0 will have them.
Why would you play Yakuza with mods though? That kind of.
Well, point is I'm saying is for just kind of mods they fairly play with mods, but like I'm also looking forward to see like if they make some wacky or silly mods or whatnot.
Like your player model's just this big black bunny with yellow ears. That'd be fun.
Well, there could be that.
Yeah, that'd be.
Or the Final Fantasy 15 thing where you can replace your player model with Marie Rose from Dead or Alive.
And then all the characters' lines would be voiced by me, yours truly. You know, you could play as Gamer Z in Yakuza 0. There's a fucking Z in the game name.
That would be good.
I'd fully support that. I would fully support that mod. Maybe we can make that mod. Maybe we're gonna think.
Or you can have one of the goons that you get to beat up as Crap Gamer.
Oh my god.
Maybe we can replace all. Maybe we replace.
Y'all are dirty.
We can replace all the goons you find in the game as all with. Well, no, we'll just superimpose. We'll make a mod where all the goons will just have photoshopped versions like of their avatars of all like a bunch of console fanboys like Crap Gamer, JTech.
And then every time you hit JTech, it would be, "Can I ask you a question?"
Mm-hmm.
Did he? Well, why did JTech say that? Or
he says "ask" really what he says "ask." Fuck, he's got me saying it now. He says "ask" really weirdly, like "ask," or like he says "exclusive," like "exclusives" or "exclusive" or some shit, or like "don't take my exclusive," like that. He says that every time you hit him. I don't know.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Yeah. Or,
but since this spawned on PS4, it's not gonna bash JTech because JTech's too busy blowing Sony.
All right, I have an idea. Instead of that, every time you hit a Photoshop version of JTech TV, it'll just say like a PlayStation 4 exclusive or something. Like you hit him in the face, The Last of Us, or hit him again. They'll say Infamous.
Actually, I think a better idea would be every time you hit it, or when he comes after you, he's like, "I'm a hardcore mature gamer," and then every time
Stop being a PC port begging troll. I don't know what he's saying anymore.
Yeah.
It's been a while. I think about 2% of my videos, which, by the way, considering the amount of videos I have and the amount of time I've done YouTube, 2% of my videos dedicated to someone is a huge fucking number.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's a huge number. Usually, I do one video on one person. I've done, like, 3 or 4 videos on JTech?
Yeah, like, I myself...
how desperate I am for views.
Well, that's YouTube. Everyone's desperate for views.
The thing with me is I've repeatedly tried to move on from JTech. Like, I've repeatedly tried to be like, JTech's not going to change. Move on from your life and let it escape. But I can't help but be curious sometimes. So every once in a while, I'll just be like, what is he talking about today? So I'll like go on his Twitter or I'll go on his YouTube channel because I'm just too damn curious. I've tried multiple times to resist, but I'm just like too curious.
I mean, he's like a train wreck that just keeps on wrecking itself. You just can't help but look, no matter how many times you want to look away.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I'll make as many videos as I want about JTech. I will not live debate him.
I cannot
use to live debate him.
Dude, he doesn't debate anyone. He just, overruns you with these dumb phrases.
He asks questions too goddamn much. Like if I invited him to my Discord and I challenged him to a debate and I was leading the conversation, right? And the last thing I want him to do is lead the conversation to the point where it's like talking to a brick wall that won't stop asking questions. Like, there was this one time where someone asked him why he thought the way he did about exclusives. He somehow took that question, molded it, took a shit on it, put it into a snowball, just a shit ball sort of thing, and threw it back are you a real gamer or something, questioning the gamer integrity of the guy that asked that question. Like, how the fuck did you come up with that, dude?
Yeah, he's been involved in...
Well,
he asks questions that have no bearing on anything.
Yeah.
There is one bearing, though.
The
It's
reason
like
he does that
kinda
is
in there.
his own way of defeating you.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
to
ridiculous.
give you an idea,
He doesn't even defeat you, though.
Yeah. Well,
He's asking
no.
a question that we can easily answer, and
He
that
keeps on
can't
interrupting
prove.
you.
Oh yeah. As soon as he realizes he asked a question that it had nothing to do with anything and it's not helping him out, he interrupts you before you're done answering his question. It's like he's just I don't want to do it.
I don't know what was harder.
Well,
for me
then here's a good way to do that. If he asks you a question, just ask, "How am I supposed to answer that?"
Well, because then he'll take that as I won the debate.
Yeah.
No, he'll keep asking it. I mean, JTech TV, he's a very control-oriented person. They like to be able to tell people what to do.
Right.
And you can see that by the way he talks. I mean, if we're to put it in our context, if I was a store representative trying to sell him something, he's that customer who looks at products that he doesn't even want. He wants to tire me out. That's his game.
Right.
Once you I'd probably...
Well, yeah, that's the idea. He's trying to tire you out. He's trying to get you pissed so that you insult him and he can claim you're the bad guy.
And you know what's in retrospect?
The best way to get someone like that is to just interrupt his train of thought.
In retrospect, and I kind of have a little bit of respect for YouTube gamer and stuff now. I mean, don't get me wrong, he said a lot of stupid shit and stuff, and I think he's wrong about a lot of it. But give him credit where credit is due. He at least had a debate with people, and he at least was at least listened to, at least answered the question. He didn't just divert the question to other people when he debated others. I know that's kind of reaching for points there, but after listening to both Trism and Frintonga's debates with JTech,
What'd you call him? Frintongas?
Frintonga, yeah, isn't that say it?
Fritonga?
Yeah.
Like apple fritter?
That's okay. I call him Free Tenga.
Fair enough.
Fritanga, Fritonga, Frintonga, Fabanga.
Anyone who knows what Tenga is.
I'm trying to wonder which debate was worse, Frintonga's or Trism's debate.
Both
probably, yeah. So
Didn't Bullet Berry do a debate on them too?
I don't know.
Sure, that one.
I know he made a video. I don't know if he may actually debate with him.
Oh well. I think we've dedicated enough time to JTech, honestly.
Yeah.
This stream probably wasn't meant to be bashing on other people.
Yeah.
You're right. We should move on.
Yeah.
It's time for pause.
Yeah. If I were to debate him, it would have to be done differently from how it's normally done.
Yeah. If I were to debate him, it would be I would have strict rules, and he would not be allowed to break them once, or else the whole debate would be called off.
Or you could just learn how to negotiate effectively and ask calibrated questions.
Yeah.
Or just don't debate him, period.
Yeah. Anyway,
you can ask calibrated questions to get what you want. I mean, ask questions where the answer is no, but it's better for you. Yeah, I mean, that's something I do to Papa G all the time.
Hey there, kitty cat. Hi.
Yeah.
Oh, are you saying?
Cats all over me.
Yeah, ask questions where the best answer you can give is no, but it favors you. I do it to Papa G all the time.
Oh, so you're admitting you manipulate me. I thought all the times I was just being nice to you. All the times the DolphinVi's being an idiot, I better just play along. But you've actually been thinking about this? I have to admit, I'm impressed, Dolphin.
Oh, no, it's easy. Just like this question, for example, I ask you a lot. Is now a bad time to talk?
No, now it's not a bad time.
There, see?
Anyway.
Yeah, the best answer is no. He doesn't blow me off. He thinks, well, I could talk. Now it's a good time to talk to DolphinVi. And he gives me what I want. There.
Anyway, long story short, Yakuza 0 is great, and I hope to all of you who play it end up enjoying it. It's a really great game, and I love it. And hopefully you'll enjoy it as well, GamerZ.
Absolutely, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, one of the best thing about it is it really is sort of a deep game in a way where it's you have not only you can really lose yourself in the mini games where the mini games are so developed in a way that they're really not only fun to play but you can lose yourself playing them because they're so fun.
They're like a game within a game. Yeah.
Yeah. Those are the kind of the best types of mini games in my opinion.
I think there was one game that I played. Maybe it was Sleeping Dogs, where one of the mini games was actually funner than the game itself. I felt that way in one of the mini games. I think it was Sleeping Dogs. It was either Sleeping Dogs or one of the actual true crime games. Anyway, but one of the mini games was actually better than the game itself, and I just found myself playing that game more than the actual game I was playing.
The Old Republic. I haven't played in years and stuff, but like every time I do play Knights of the Old Republic, I always am certain to play Kazakh, which is like pretty much blackjack, but like with some modified rules. But like for some reason, I always found it like really addicting. For some reason, same with like a lot of different mini games, and like I'm always fascinated by mini games and video games because like depending on like how they are, like you can get more sucked into them than like the main game. And that might not necessarily insult to the main game, because in my opinion, like the main game, Yakuza 0, is really fantastic, but like the mini games are just like that good, so good that they could stand on their own.
Shit, my cat just stabbed me.
No.
Don't you hate it when that happens?
You know what? I have a bunch of photos of every single one of my cats. Okay, so what I have is a QCK SteelSeries 13-inch mousepad. And without fail, I will leave my room for a minute, not more. A cat I will find on my table, sprawled out with my mouse actually dangling or just off the mouse pad, and they're just fucking sitting there like nothing's happening. Like, yo, this is my spot now. And I just can't feel. I would feel too guilty by moving them, because obviously they pick that spot because it's comfortable. And so now I'm just fucked off a computer. I just can't do anything.
I'm full where I'm just kind of like, if my cats, I love my cats. I love him to death. But like if he's in a spot where I need to be or I need to be comfortable, I'm just like, move, cats. I don't care if you're comfortable. I need to be here. I'm very selfish.
I couldn't do that to my cats. They're too adorable,
Sometimes,
and they'd probably eat me.
Sometimes I'm nice, but it's like sometimes I'm just kind of annoyed because it's like, well,
Shit.
You're alright?
Yeah, I was apparently dangling something in my hand, and my cat just wanted to play with it, stabbed my finger.
My cat's mostly what my cat does. My cat mostly just lays. Like, my cat is very energetic, but at the end of the day, like, he'll like lay wherever, even if it's not like necessarily comfortable. Like, I have a back deck in my house, and like one time I just found my cat just laying on the back deck. It was like the most cutest and funniest thing ever. So either way, thanks for coming on Gamers Z Gaming. It's really nice to have you.
Absolutely. I think I might head off in a few minutes, or maybe now.
Yeah,
Now that
I think
it's
we can pretty
7:50
much
almost.
we can pretty much end the podcast now. I think there's not much
Okay.
to talk about.
It's great having you.
Okay. Do you not want to do the intro now, Papa G?
We already did. Didn't I already do the intro earlier?
Well, the outro, I meant. Okay, do you not want to do the outro, Papa G?
I was just about to do it.
And my cat just made me bleed. Holy shit, I really need to go get a Band-Aid now.
Okay,
Alright then.
You go do that.
So here's my goodbye, sayonara, and I hope you enjoyed. Peace out, goodbye.
Yeah.
See ya.
See ya.
YOLO.
Alright, take care.
So anyway, gaming podcast, and I'll see you on the next show. That was a terrible joke. Someone please kill me for making that joke. That was not funny.
Okay.
Gotta get ready for bed. I have a bit of a day tomorrow. Is that okay, guys?
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, do you
that
really
was a lot-
want to stay up?
Not particularly, no.
Well, there you go.
Anyway, one sec. It's been a lot of fun, though. And think a lot of fun. It's great hanging out with you guys as always.
Yep, you as well.
See ya.
Okay, see ya.